Joining us now, Joel Perry from Aerosmith and Paul Stanley with Kiss, two of the biggest all-time rock and roll bands. What a pleasure it is to have both of you joining us here today. How are you guys?
We're having a great time. You know, we're in the midst of this huge tour that brings the two biggest American bands of the last 25 years together on the same stage. We'll be playing to over 1 million people on this tour, and so far nobody's asked for their money back, and we're both having a ball doing it.
You guys are two of the biggest headliners of all time, just huge. How did this come about? How did you guys get together to do this tour?
Well, you know, we've been touring on our own for so many years. Where do you go from there? So it just made sense to us to put something together like this. And we've been friends for years, and as you may or may not know, we played some gigs together in the 70s, and we've been friends over the years. And the thought of putting us both on the same stage, it's always been kind of in the back of our minds. This summer, it just seemed to work.
You know, it took a lot to make it happen, because both bands have their own schedules, and both bands have their own, you know, itineraries, obligations, and what have you. But it finally came together. We have over 100 people putting the show on every night. Like I said, there'll be over 1 million people seeing it. And you know, when we hit the stage every night, we show people what you learn in 25 years of doing this. This isn't about a new band that sold 5 million albums and suddenly gets thrust onto an arena stage and doesn't know what to do. You're getting two headlining acts who have a tremendous amount of respect for each other. It's not Tyson Holyfield. Nobody gets their ears bitten off. You know, this is the best of the best, going out and showing people why we've lasted this long.
What an incredible concert. And I was going to ask you, you were saying that it's a huge production. Both of you are known for your incredible stage shows, lots of pyrotechnics, lots of technical aspects. How are you going to make this work with the two of you?
Well, we've had a lot of talented people working a long time trying to figure that out. And basically what we have is a huge turntable that just takes the whole set and twists it around. And that makes it so that the time between the two bands isn't that long. And it's just, but just the energy of the two bands playing together is greater than the two parts separately. It's really scary, the energy that we get the audience to. And we watch these guys play beforehand. My bus shakes every night. I watch them on the monitors, and sometimes we go out into the audience, and then we figure, well, we got to go out there and at least try and build on that. And so every night it makes for a new experience. I mean, we're having a great time.
Speaking of the audience, you guys have got a huge fan base, and it continues to grow. I mean, how do you feel when you look out in the audience and you see grandparents with their grandchildren, and they're all just into your music?
Rock and roll really is a music about an attitude. It's about freedom and a sense of enjoying life, and that shouldn't change. There are people who are 12 years old who should be grandparents because they're so old, and there are people who are in their 80s who could teach a lot of young people what freedom's all about. So I think what both bands appeal to is the freedom and the sense of celebrating being alive. So that's the essence, I think, of rock and roll. A little sex thrown in on the side, but that got us all here in the first place.
And you know, the live show is, I think people are always going to want that. That's like saying that because you can watch basketball on TV means no one's going to go to the basketball games live. There's nothing like that. And I think the live experience of seeing two bands like this is unequaled. And we've been fans for, I keep saying 25 years, but we've been doing this for 30. I know you've been doing that for 30 years. So you know,
we've been doing this because we love doing it, and that's I think part of the shared basis of what we do. There's a tremendous respect. When these guys hit the stage, you won't be surprised to see some of us over there watching it. And I'm always blown away. I mean, there is only one Aerosmith, and these guys wrote the book on what they do. A lot of bands have tried to copy them, but they've missed the point. This is, you know, these guys are the real deal, and to share a stage means that an audience gets something really extraordinary on any given night.
Well, we are thrilled to have you in town. I know 2 years ago, Kiss, you played at the Olympics, and Aerosmith, you sold out last year. Now it's going to be very difficult to get all your fans crammed into the Delta Center. So thank you both so much, and good luck with the rest of your tour.
Thanks.